New researchers confirm that planet Earth was formed relatively quickly some 4.6 billion years ago, accreting directly out of the protoplanetary nebula of gas and dust surrounding the Sun. The findings, reported in the journal Nature, come from crucial evidence from water and gases trapped in the planet's mantle. The study's authors, Professor Sujal Mukhopadhyay and Curtis Williams, both from the University of California, Davis, wanted to understand where and how the neon in the Earth's mantle was acquired. This would in turn tell them how fast and under what conditions planet Earth formed. The neon was used as a stand-in for where water and gases like carbon dioxide and nitrogen came from. Unlike these compounds, which are essential for life, neon is an inert noble gas and isn't influenced by chemical and biological processes. So, neon keeps a memory of where it came from even after 4.6 billion years. There are three competing hypotheses about how the Earth formed from the protoplanetary disk of dust and gas, and how water and other gases were delivered to the growing proto-Earth. These different models have consequences for what the early Earth was like. The first model is known as the Solar Nebula or Early Rapid Formation model. According to this hypothesis, the planet grew relatively quickly over just 2 to 5 million years, capturing gas directly out of the protoplanetary nebula, the swirling cloud of gas and dust surrounding the young Sun. The second hypothesis, known as the irradiated particles model, suggests that dust particles condensed and were then irradiated by the Sun for some time before coalescing into small planetesimals that were subsequently delivered to the growing planet Earth. The third option is known as the late Accretion model. According to this hypothesis, the Earth formed relatively slowly, and the key signature gases were delivered by carbonaceous chondrite meteorites, rich in water, carbon and nitrogen. If the Earth came from carbonaceous chondrites, its hydrogen would have come in the more oxidized form of water. To figure out which of these three competing hypotheses on planetary formation and delivery of gases were correct, the authors needed to accurately measure the ratios of neon isotopes trapped in the Earth's mantle when the planet was formed. Now, neon comes in three isotopes. There's neon 20, 21 and 22. All three are stable and non-radioactive, but neon 21 is formed through the radioactive decay of uranium. So that means the amounts of neon 20 and 22 in the Earth have been stable since the planet formed and will remain so forever, but neon 21 will continue to slowly accumulate over time through radioactive decay. The three different hypotheses for the Earth's formation are each predicted to have a different ratio of neon 20 to 22. One of the problems for the authors is that they couldn't really sample the mantle directly. Instead, they had to use rocks known as pillow basalts, which are found on the ocean floor. These glassy rocks are the remains of magma flows from deep in the Earth that spilled out and cooled on the ocean floor. Samples were collected by a drilling expedition led by the University of Rhode Island, which made its collection available to other scientists. The gases would be found in tiny bubbles sealed within the solidified basalt. Using a press, the authors cracked basalt chips in a sealed chamber, thereby releasing the gases, which could then be analysed by a mass spectrometer. Previous studies had already established the neon isotope ratio for the Solar Nebula or Early Rapid Formation model, with data from the Genesis mission which captured particles of the solar wind. Data for the irradiated particles model came from an analysis of lunar soils and from meteorites. And of course, carbonaceous chondrite meteorites provided data for the late Accretion model. The authors found that the isotope ratios from their basalts were well above those expected for either the irradiated particles or late Accretion models. So this means the Solar Nebula or Early Rapid Formation model, in which the Earth grew relatively quickly over 2 to 5 million years, capturing gas from the protoplanetary nebula, was the most likely planetary formation scenario.